All right, County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher resigning from the Board of Supervisors next month amid sexual misconduct allegations. So what does this mean for the board?
Well, County District 5 Supervisor Jim Desmond joins us this morning to explain what's next. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, first of all, I do have to recognize I do like what you're wearing this morning, so we are all cheering the Aztecs on.
Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs. And so you have been very vocal about this. Last week, news broke of what was happening. It was Sunday when Fletcher resigned, or announced that he was going to be stepping away from his duties. He was going to check himself in for alcohol abuse and all these things. You have been vocal since then. You say that this was a cover-up. Can you elaborate a little bit about what that means?
Well, I think the cover-up was coming out 2 days before the allegations that he knew were coming. The lawsuit came out, and unfortunately, usually the cover-up is worse than the crime. And the fact that he used PTSD as really an excuse for sexual harassment is disgraceful. The PTSD it manifests itself in many different ways, but to use that as an excuse for sexual harassment, it just goes too far across the line. And so, and I think that what was disappointing to a lot of people is he came out with this, I'm having problems with alcohol, I'm having problems with PTSD, and I need to go check myself in a rehab, and it really, he knew this was going to happen. He knew ahead of time, before everybody else did, that this lawsuit was in the works, and got out ahead of it with that. Unfortunately, usually the cover-up's worse than the crime. I think he should resign right away, because technically he could still show up at a meeting, and he could still vote, and he could call in a vote. May 15th is his date. It's not the date. The supervisors can't kick somebody off. We can't vote somebody off the island. It's the voters have empowered him to have a vote. So technically, he's still not really gone, and he could move that date at any time. So until we really see a letter of resignation, and it's not complete yet, he says he will resign May 15th, and we're going forward on that notion. But I just think, this really took everybody by surprise, and then, as I said, the cover-up's usually the worse than the crime itself sometimes.
You said this was the right decision, and it was necessary for the future of San Diego County. When did the Board of Supervisors learn of this alleged affair?
Well, it wasn't until everybody else learned. I wasn't part of it, and we technically, because of the Brown Act, can't always, get the five of us get together and talk. And so when he came out with that on Sunday night with the, I'm going to go to rehab for these reasons, I kind of thought something else was going to come down, because the fact he ended his campaign for Senate, for state Senate. It's like, well, why would you do that? He's got all the support. He's got probably a 90% chance of winning. He had I think about $1 million in his campaign fund for this, and he was going to win the seat.
Did you think that this was what was going to come out of it?
I had no idea that this was going to come out of this, but I knew something had to be up, because he could have just suspended his campaign instead of. I'm going to end it tonight. It's like, well, this is not really a reason for, these are struggles you're having internally and with your family, so why would you do this? So it was kind of, we were suspect of something, but what came out was, unfortunate, but and I do think, it'd be a lot easier if just rip the Band-Aid off and the resignation so that we could move on. And we are going in that vein of May 15th, but we'll see what that happens. And so I think what's next, we've got with the Board of Supervisors, we have two options. We can either appoint somebody to that seat, and we only have 30 days from the date of resignation, so 30 days from May 15th to appoint someone. Or we have a special election.
Well, if there is a special election, when would that take place?
That's supposed to kick in 75 days after we're not able to appoint somebody. So within 75 days of not being able to appoint, so then there would be a special election announced, and then I'm not sure what the date of that would be, but it would have to be probably within that 75 days to have that happen, which is a very short period of time.
And because he has appointed May 15th as his resignation date, and you're saying he could move that time.
He's empowered by the people to be there right now. And so he, I'm hoping, and we're moving in that direction, that May 15th is the date. And that it's, to elect, either appoint or elect. And if we have there's two Democrats and two Republicans on the Board of Supervisors, and we get along. I mean, most things, homelessness and trying to keep our people out of jails and things like that, and get them other services and mental health services, we agree on all that kind of stuff, which is kind of the big heavy lifting. The other things, sometimes we have disagreements on, but we're going to be 2-2 for a while, and so that's could be a good thing or could be a bad thing. I think because controversial stuff may stay on the sidelines, and we'll just get the work of the county done. So it could be 2-2 for a while, and he could come in and be a tiebreaker if he so chooses. Right. So so hopefully we might be able to appoint and we find somebody that we can all work with. That would be great. But the election's going to cost about $2 million. So this is not going to be cheap to have a special election. That can, we could do a lot with $2 million. Shelters and homeless, building houses, whatever the case may be. We've got a lot more we could be doing with those dollars.
Got a lot of work. A lot of work to do, and we appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
Always good to see you.